Hi there. Have you ever wondered how your computer actually works? I mean, how does it know what to do when you open an app, music player or browse the web? Well, the magic behind it all is something called an operating system. In this video, we'll break it down in a simple and fun way. So stay tuned. Alright, let's start with the basic. Your computer is made up of hardware. Things like CPU, RAM, storage, and input and output devices like keyboard, mouse, and screen. But these are just components. How do they actually work together? That's where the operating system or OS comes in. Think of it as a manager of your computer. It's handle everything, deciding which application gets CPU time, managing memory, and making sure your files are stored properly. Now let's try to understand how does the operating system work. Let's take an example. You open Google Chrome for browsing the internet, like the way I did. Chrome need to use your CPU and memory, right? But how does it do that? Well, applications like Chrome don't actually know how to interact with hardware. They rely on the operating system as a middleman. So let's see how it works. Chrome requests memory and CPU power from the OS. In this case, it requested from the CPU from the OS, and it has assigned some CPU and some memory to Chrome. The OS finds available resources and allocate them to this application. When you click an icon, the OS interpret your action and start the application. Like whenever I'm clicking on any icon, it will start this application and allocate resources that is needed to run this application, like CPU, memory, or any other resources that this application required. So this is how the operating system handles. So it's like a traffic controller, make sure every car, or in our case every program, moves smoothly without crashing. Now that we understand how an OS or operating system works, let's look at its key responsibilities. The first one is process management. Every time you open an app, whether it's a browser, music player, or a text editor or a code editor, it's run as a process. The OS ensure that each process get its fair share of CPU times. If you have a single core CPU, only one process run at a time. But modern computers have multi-core processors or CPU, which allows multiple processes to run in a parallel. We can see this in this window. I have opened a task manager of this Windows system, and you can see there are so many processes that are running here, and inside that you can see for this Chrome application we have so many processes running for each tab or any extension that I have installed for this. So all of those extension and each tab is running as a separate process, and each process requires some CPUs, some memory, and so on. So that OS will manage those resources for this application. And same goes to all the application. We have Visual Studio Code. It has some processes as well, which required some memory, CPU, and it could be a disk space or network resources as well. So OS will handle all those things for us, and so on. So we have so many other application as well, and each application running as a separate process in this case. So the next responsibility for the OS is memory management. Your RAM is like a workspace where your computer keep active application, but RAM is limited. So what happens when too many apps are open? That's where memory swapping comes in. The OS temporarily moves inactive processes from RAM to storage. In that case, it could be your hard drive or SSD, whatever you have in your system, to free up some space. But be careful, too much swapping can slow down your system. Let's understand that memory management from this view as well. So here we have a memory management. Currently it is utilized 66%, and we have so many applications that are utilizing some of the memory portion from that. So I have 16 GB of RAM, and it is utilized by these all these opens application. If I open more application and my RAM is utilized by 100%, so whenever I will switch between the apps, OS will do that swapping thing. It will uh, inactive, it will make one app inactive and put its data into SSD in my case, and open, like free up that space and assign that resources or space to whatever app I'm currently using. And it will take some time, so it will, like, your app, your navigation and your app will be a little bit slow whilst like moving from one app to another app. OS also organize and manage files, deciding where they are stored and how they are accessed. This ensures that your data remains safe and easy to find. Whenever you want to find any application, you can easily find that application or file in your system, and how it is managed and how it is stored is all the responsibilities of your OS as well. The next responsibility for your OS is to security and user management. Operating system keep your data secure by managing user permissions and protecting against unauthorized access. Features like user account, password, and firewalls help keep your system safe. Understanding how an OS or operating system work is super important. Whether you are an everyday user or a student or an inspired DevOps engineer, its power everything from personal computer to massive cloud servers. That's a quick introduction to operating system. I hope this helps you understanding how your computer runs behind the scenes. If you found this helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more tech videos. Drop a comment if you have any question. I'd love to hear from you.